Okay, good afternoon, everyone. In the previous class, we have discussed about the data warehouse models. Okay, so that is what are the different kinds of data warehouse models we have got according to that is architectural view. Okay, so I have explained that in the previous class. See, totally we have got three different kinds of data warehouse models. See, first one is enterprise warehouse. Okay, so see this one. The first one is enterprise warehouse. Okay, that is going to hold all the information that is related to all of the subjects. The second type of data model is data mart. See, a data mart will be containing only a data which is related to one specific subject. Okay, that is a data mart. And third one is virtual warehouse. So virtual warehouse is nothing but it is a set of views which we will be creating on the operational database or the data warehouse. Okay, so this is the thing that we have studied. Apart from this, we have seen what are the different development methods we have got for designing the data warehouse. See, I have explained that we have got mainly two development methods here. One is top-down approach and second one is bottom-up approach. Okay. So now coming to the next topic. The next topic is about the extraction, transformation, and loading. See, I hope that everyone remembers these words, that is extraction, transformation, and loading. See, while explaining the architecture of a data warehouse, okay, so in the bottom tier, see, I'll just show that, just a minute. Okay, so in the data warehouse architecture, so see here, see in the bottom tier, I told that, see, we have got the backup tools and utilities. See, these backup tools and utilities, they are going to extract the data from the operational databases and the external sources. And then apart from extraction, they are also going to perform additional operations of the functions. Those operations are, that is cleaning, transformation, load, and refresh. Okay. So these are the operations, that is transformation, loading, and extraction. Okay, and then cleaning. See, all these operations are performed by the backup tools and the utilities here. Okay. So in order to load the data into a bottom tier, okay, that is a data warehouse server. See, we need to use the backup tools and utilities. These backup tools and utilities, they are going to perform these operations, that is extraction, cleaning, transformation, load, and refresh. Okay. So I'll explain what are these extraction, transformation, and loading now. Okay. So see here, data extraction is nothing but, see, as I said, see, we have got many different sources here for data. Okay, so it can be either operational database system, or it can be external sources data, or even the data can be present in the file source. Okay. See, from all these different sources, okay, or the heterogeneous sources, we will be collecting the data, and that data will be kept in a bottom tier of a data warehouse. That is called as data extraction. See, data extraction is nothing but it is the gathering of the data from the different multiple heterogeneous and the external sources. Okay. See, we have got many different sources here, like operational DBMS systems, and then flat files or the files, and then we have also got external data sources. From those data sources, we will be gathering the data. Okay, that process is called as a data extraction. Okay, this is the first operation that is performed by the backend tools and the utilities. Okay, see, second operation is data clean. Okay, so data cleaning is nothing but, see, whenever you have got a data, okay, so in that data there will be many of the errors and the anomalies present. Okay, so errors can be either, sometimes see, you will be having missing values, so I need to remove those missing values also, and also we will be having some of the that is anomalies which are present in the data. So the process of removing those errors and the anomalies and then rectifying the data, so that is called as data cleaning. Okay, so we are removing the errors which are present in the data, and also we are rectifying them. If it is possible, we will try to remove them also. For example, if you have got a missing values, see, in the place of missing values, we can include the null values. Okay, that is nothing but a rectification here. Okay, so that process is called as a data cleaning here. Okay, so this is the second operation. Third operation is data transformation. Okay, so I told in the last class that, see, data transformation is nothing but transforming the data from one form to another form. See, in the host system or the legacy system, that is the different sources like DBMS, and then you got the flat files. See, those systems, they will be having their own data format. Okay, so I need to convert that into a data warehouse format. Okay, so the process of converting this data from the host or the legacy format to the warehouse format, see, that is called as data transformation here. See, host will be having the data in one format. That data will be converted into a data warehouse format. So that is called as data transformation here. See, next operation is loading. So loading of the data is nothing but, see, before directly putting the data in a data warehouse, say I will be performing some kind of sorting here if I want. Okay, and then also I can perform the summarization of the data. And then after performing summarization, we will consolidate the data. We'll combine the data. Okay, and then also if you want, you can even find the views also. See, instead of that is again and again performing the same operation or the query on a data warehouse, see, what you can do is you can compute a view here. Okay, that is also kind of loading. And then we need to check for the integrity of the data. So integrity is nothing but, see, whatever data I have got from the that is different sources like DBMS and the flat files or the external sources. The same data must be present in the data warehouse also. There must not be any modifications in the data. That is called as checking the integrity. And then see, for efficient processing of the queries, we also need to build the index and the partitions here. So partition is nothing but that is a part of data. We will divide the data into subsets here. Okay. And then indices is nothing but index. Okay. Just like how we have got a primary key in a DBMS system, in the same way, we'll be creating an index here. That is, we need to build the index and indices and the partitions here. That these are the operations which we will be performing in a loading operation. That is, we'll sort the data and then we'll summarize the data and then we will consolidate the data. See, apart from that, we will also compute the views here. Okay, then we'll check for the integrity of the data and then we'll build the indices and the partitions here. Next, coming to the last operation, that is refresh. See, suppose if there are any of the changes which are done in the host system, okay, that is in the different sources. See, we need to send the updates to the data which is present in the warehouse also. That is called as refresh. Refreshing is nothing but updating the data that is present in a data warehouse. Suppose if there are any of the changes in the host system data, then corresponding updates must be sent to a data warehouse data. That is called as refreshing. So these are the operations that is performed by the backend tools and the utility here. Okay, so one is data extraction, second one is data cleaning, and third operation is data transformation, and then loading of the data and then refreshing. Okay, so data extraction is nothing but it is gathering of the data from the different heterogeneous sources here. We'll collect the data from the different sources. And then data cleaning is nothing but we will remove the errors which are present in the data. So, and then we will also try to correct the data. If there are any of the errors, we'll remove them and also we'll correct them. That is called as data cleaning. Data transformation is nothing but we'll convert the data from the host format to the data warehouse format. See, host system will be having data in one form that will not be understood by the data warehouse user. So we need to convert the data which is present in a data that is host system into a data warehouse format. That is called as data transformation. And next operation is loading. Okay, so loading is nothing but, so again, in case of loading, we'll perform a set of operations here like sorting, and then we'll summarize the data and then we will consolidate the data. So if you want, you can even compute the views here and checking the integrity, whether the data present in the data warehouse, whether it is correct data or not. Okay, and then for efficient query processing, we'll build the index and the partitions here. Okay. So last operation is refreshing. That is whenever there are changes in the data which are present in a source system, we need to send the updates to the data warehouse system also. Okay, that is propagating the updates from the data sources to the data warehouse. That is called as refreshing. Okay. So this is about the extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, so now coming to the next topic, that is metadata repository. Okay. So again, see here in the bottom tier, see, while explaining the architecture of data warehouse, I had shown that we have got a metadata repository in the bottom tier. Okay, I'll just show that again. So see here, see in the bottom tier, See, apart from the relational DBMS systems and then monitoring and the administration tools, we have also got the metadata repository. Okay. So what this metadata repository is going to contain is, see, it will be having data about the data warehouse. So metadata is nothing but it is the data about the data. Just like see in a DBMS system, see how you will be having that is metadata, that is data about the DBMS system. See, normally in case of DBMS system, see, you'll be having information about the database, and then what are the different tables which are present. Okay, what are the attributes which are present in the table? See, all those informations, how many tables are present, that will present in the metadata. Okay, so in the same way, see, in case of a data warehouse system also, we'll be having a metadata here. Again, metadata is nothing but, see, it is a data about the data. Okay, so now coming to what exactly the data which is present in a metadata. See, normally this metadata, see, it is going to define the data warehouse objects here. So what are the different data warehouse objects that are present in a data warehouse? See, they will be defined by metadata here. So this metadata, so it is the data that is going to define the data warehouse objects. See, normally objects are nothing but, so see here, see in case of data warehouse system, see we will be having some of the dimensions tables and the fact tables. So I'll explain after this topic what is that dimension table and the fact table. See, all those are considered as objects here. Okay. So that information about these that is data warehouse objects, see, it will be stored in a metadata repository or the metadata. Okay. See, again, see this metadata repository, see, it is present in the bottom tier of a data warehouse architecture. Say metadata repository will be stored in the bottom tier of a data warehouse architecture. Now coming to what exactly will be present in a metadata. Okay. So these are the different contents which are present in a metadata. So see here, see, it will be containing a description of a data warehouse structure. Okay, so description of data warehouse structure is nothing but what are the different dimensions, tables and the fact tables that are present in a data warehouse. So that description will be present in a metadata is repository. So it is a description of a data warehouse structure. And then we'll be having operational metadata also. So operational metadata means that see what is the data which is present in the source system. Okay, and then what is the data which is present in the data warehouse system, whether that data is correct or not. Okay, and if there are any of the updates that are done in the data warehouse data. Okay, that is an operational metadata. This is also present in a metadata repository. And then see algorithms which we are using for summarization. See, normally we will be using some of the algorithms here in order to summarize the data which is present in data warehouse. So all those description of the algorithms, so it will be present in a metadata repository. Okay. And then see one more thing I told. See, normally we'll be transforming the data from the operational environment to the data warehouse. Okay, we will be mapping the data from the operational environment to data warehouse. So information of that is also stored in a metadata repository. Okay, and then data related to system performance. Okay, so system performance, see, normally you're going to measure the system performance with the help of throughput measure. Okay, metric used is that is throughput, or say sometimes even we can use the response time also as a system performance measure. So information of that is also stored here. Okay, and then business metadata. Okay, business metadata, normally this is used by the knowledge workers. Okay, so business metadata is also present in a metadata repository. So this metadata, say it is a data about the data. Metadata is going to define the data warehouse objects here. Okay, so what are the different data warehouse objects which are present, that will be defined by the metadata repository here. Okay, so normally metadata repositories, it will be stored in the bottom tier of a data warehouse architecture. Now coming to the contents of a metadata repository. See, normally this metadata repository, it will be containing the description of a data warehouse structure. So description of data warehouse structure is nothing but see what is the kind of data that is present in the source system and what is the kind of data that is present in the data warehouse system. Okay. So then coming to second thing, that is operational metadata. Okay, so operational metadata is nothing but see what if we have done any of the changes in a that is data warehouse system, so information of that will be stored here. Okay, and then what are the algorithms we have used for summarization, that is also stored in a metadata repository. Okay, so apart from that, mapping from the operational environment to the data warehouse, that is also stored in a metadata repository. Okay, and then see the data which is related to system performance. Okay, and then business metadata, see all these are the contents which are present in a metadata repository. Okay, now coming to, so what are the advantages of using this metadata? See, we have got mainly two advantages here. So one advantage is, see this metadata repository, it is going to act as a directory here. See, decision supports analyst, they want to find the contents which are present in a data warehouse. So you need some technique, right? So if you want to locate the data in a data warehouse, so it will be a difficult task because it will be containing a huge quantity of data. Okay, suppose if you have got a directory, so directory is just like a primary key in case of a DBMS system. Okay, so this metadata, it is going to act as a directory here for the decision support analyst. Okay, knowledge workers, they are going to use the metadata as a that is a directory, so that they can easily locate the contents of a data warehouse. Okay, and also this is going to act as a guide for mapping the data. Okay, so whenever you are transforming the data from the operational environment to the data warehouse environment, that is transformation task. So this metadata, it is also going to help us for that transformation. So for data mapping, so this metadata repository, it is going to act as a guide here. It is going to help us so that we can easily transform the data from the source system to the data warehouse environment. This is the first advantage. So first advantage of using metadata is, so it is going to help the knowledge workers like business analysts to easily locate the data which is present in a data warehouse. It is going to act as a directory, and also it is going to guide the data mapping process here, so that we can easily transform the data from the data operational environment to the data warehouse environment. So this is the first advantage of using metadata. Now coming to the second advantage, see this metadata, see it is also act as a guide for the algorithms, okay, which we are going to use for summarization. See, I told that, see, normally in case of a data warehouse system, see, we'll be having a summarized data. Okay. So detailed data, it will present in a DBMS system. So DBMS system, it is going to contain detailed data. So we need to use the summarization algorithms in order to convert this detailed data to that is consolidated or the summarized data. Okay, and also we'll be transforming the summarized data into again lightly summarized data here. Okay, so for this transformation, this metadata, see, it is going to act as a guide here. This is the second advantage. Second advantage is, see, this metadata repository or the metadata, it is going to help us for performing the summarization. It is going to act as an algorithm for performing the summarization. Summarization is nothing but, it is the process of converting the detailed data into summarized data. I don't want to keep all the detailed data in a data warehouse because it is going to increase the data size, and also, so it is going to that is lessen the performance of the system. Okay, so for that is converting the detailed data into summarized data, we need the algorithms here. So those algorithms, information about the algorithms, see, that will be given by the metadata. So it is going to act as a guide to the algorithms that is used for summarization. Then whether we need to store this metadata permanently or temporarily. See, normally we will be storing this metadata permanently here. We'll not store that temporarily in the RAM. We will be storing that on a disk. We must have the metadata in our system so that we can easily perform our operations. Okay. So this is about the metadata repository. Now coming to the next topic, that is a data cube. See, before explaining this topic, okay, so I just want to ask you people, see how the data will be stored in a DBMS system. Yes, what is the kind of model we are going to use in a DBMS system? Can anyone tell me? Just unmute yourself. Okay, so how the data will be stored in a DBMS system? Yes, anyone answer me? So you have done project on DBMS, right? Who will tell? Yes, anyone? ಬೇಗ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ತರ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಡೇಟಾ DBMS ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Yes, unmute yourself. I'm asking you people only. Anyone tell me how the data will be stored in a DBMS system? See, while explaining the difference also I told, right? See how the data will be stored. Okay, so Anup has answered as organized manner. Okay, so apart from that, as no one wants to tell, as a file. Okay, then.
Sir, it will be stored in a table.
Yes, yes, tabular format. Exactly. Yes, any other answers? Okay, dependency. Okay, then. No, I'm asking what is the structure of the data, how it will be stored. See, exactly the answer is that is a tabular format. Okay, so the data in case of a DBMS systems, it will be stored in a format of a table. So it is a structured format. It will not be distributed like anything here. It will be stored in a structured format. We'll be having rows. Rows stands for tuples there. Okay, and then column stands for the attributes. Okay, that is the structure of a DBMS system. Okay, so see here. In case of a data warehouse system, the data will be stored in a format of a data cube. So data cube is not a just two-dimensional structure here. So tabular format and 2 dimensions birth. And we can represent that data in the format of X and Y axis. But the data which is stored in a data warehouse, see, normally it will be having multiple dimensions. It will not have only 2 dimensions. 2 dimensions ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ rows and columns format ಅಲ್ಲಿ represent ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ವಾ? So that is the DBMS data. DBMS data 2 dimensions ಅಲ್ಲಿ represent ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು. Okay. But data warehouse data ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that will be stored in a format of multiple dimensions. So in the previous classes, I told that see, for designing a DBMS system, we'll be using ER model, entity relationship data model use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ all the data will be represented in the format of entities and the relationship between them. But in case of data warehouse system and the OLAP system, so we'll be using multi-dimensional data model because the data will be present in the multiple dimensions here. So we'll be using a multi-dimensional data model for designing the data warehouse system. Okay. So normally you see this model. Okay, so it is going to represent or display the data in the form of a data cube. So new cube ನೋಡಿದಿರಾ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. I think you might have worked on a cube in your CAD lab. So CAD lab ಅಲ್ಲಿ so 3 dimensional. Okay, so cube na ನೀವು you might have simulated that. Okay, so that is how we are going to represent the data which is present in a data warehouse here. Okay, so this data which is present in this data warehouse, so it will be modeled using the multi-dimensional data model here. See this model, see it is going to represent the data in the format of a data cube here. Okay, so see here, see this data cube, see it is going to model and view the data in the multiple dimensions. See all the data which is present in the data cube, it will be modeled and represented in the format of multiple dimensions. It is not a two-dimensional data of your DBMS, just like how you got DBMS system. It is an example for two-dimensional data. We can represent the data in the rows and column format. But data warehouse system, see it is multi-dimensional data. For representing this data, we need to use a data cube. So this data cube, it is going to represent the data in the multiple dimensions, not in the 2 dimensions. ಸಿ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ 2 ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 3 ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ 4 ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ. Okay. So now coming to how this data will be represented here. I told that see in the DBMS system we have got tables. Okay, so tables irutte and then corresponding attributes irutte. So ಅದೇ ತರ ಡೇಟಾ ವೇರ್ಹೌಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so dimension stands for the tables here. Okay, facts andre, so here they are measures, they are not present in DBMS system normally, they will be present in a data warehouse system here. Okay, so I will explain what is this dimensions and facts now. So see here, so DBMS system only entity and the concept. Okay, so entities are nothing but those are the real world objects. Okay, so about which we want to keep the information, that is nothing but entity. Okay, so ಅದೇ ತರ so data warehouse system ಅಲ್ಲಿ dimensions ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So dimensions ಅಂದ್ರೆ again they are nothing but the entities only here. Okay, so about which entities you want to keep the information or the records here. Okay, so those entities are called as dimensions here. So dimensions are nothing but, so it is the perspectives or entities with respect to which an organization wants to keep records here. Okay, so see here, just like how you got entities. Okay, in case of a DBMS system, entity is nothing but it is a real world object about which you want to keep the information. For example, say student entity, employee entity, all these are entities here. So in the same way, so in case of a data warehouse system, we will be having some entities or the perspectives here. See, perspective is nothing but it is just like an preconceived information here. Okay, so it is the perspectives or entities with respect to which an organization wants to keep the records, about which entities the organization is keeping the record. So that information is called as the dimensions here. So for example, see, I'll give an example. See here, all electronics, it is actually the name of the company that is present in US. Okay, just like see how you got Flipkart, okay, and then Amazon. Okay, all these are e-commerce companies. Okay, so in the same way, so in USA, we have got a company called as All Electronics. See, this All Electronics company, see, it wants to keep track of the sales of their products. Okay, with respect to different dimensions here. Okay, so dimensions can be either with respect to time, okay, or item, or branch, or location. See, all these are called as dimensions here. So dimensions andre just like table names in a DBMS system. Okay, so ಇವಾಗ all electronics ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so it wants to keep track of how many items have been sold. Okay, so it wants to keep track of that data. It will be considering some of the dimensions here. So total sales with respect to time we can consider. I mean, for duration, for 1 month, how many items are sold, that we can keep track of. For 2 months or for 1 year. Okay, that is time will be a dimension here. Or item, which items have been sold. Okay, for example, electronic goods. Okay, or whether they are grocery goods. Okay, so with respect to that also we can keep track of sales here. Or with respect to branch, I mean in which branch, which company. Okay, so it has sold how many items, with respect to that also we can keep the information. And then location, in which location the items are sold. Okay, all these are dimensions here. Dimensions are nothing but just you can see these are the entities or the just perspectives here. About these, the companies are going to maintain the records. Okay, so this all electronics, so it is keeping the total sales of products with respect to these 4 dimensions here, that is time, item, and then branch, and then location. Okay, so again, see, if you consider the dimension table. Okay, so dimensions, see, dimensions will be having a table that is called as a dimension table. See, this dimension table, again, it is going to fully describe these dimensions. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ ನಾನು ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಆಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಆಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿ ಐಟಮ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಐಟಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಐಟಮ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್, okay, and then what is the type of that item. See, all these are the attributes. See, these attributes will be stored in a dimension table. So each dimension, say it will be further described with the help of dimension table here. So each of the dimension table, it will be having attributes. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ನೀವು ಫರ್ದರ್ ಹೇಗ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you will be having some attributes here: student name, and then date of birth, and then degree, okay, address, okay, gender. All these are attributes which are further going to describe the table student. So in the same way, so in the dimensions also, we'll be having one table. That table is going to completely describe so what is present in the table. So that is called as a dimension table here. Now for example, if we consider the item dimension, so it will be having attributes like item name, brand, and then type. Okay, then who is going to create these dimension tables? See, normally dimension tables, they will be created by the users or the experts, or even they can be automatically created. It is not necessary that you must create them. They can even be generated by the system. Okay, so this is first, that is element of a data cube. Now coming to the second element, that is about the facts. Okay, so normally, see, if you consider any multidimensional data model, see, it will be organized around one central theme that is called as sales. So ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಡೇಟಾ ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವ ಥೀಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥೀಮ್ ನ ನಾವ್ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, so if you consider any multi-dimensional data model, see, every multi-dimensional data model, see, it will be centered around one central theme. That theme is called as a sales theme. Okay, so this theme, okay, it will be represented in a format of fact table. So now coming to what are these facts? So facts andre numerical measures. Okay, I will give one example here. So see here, for example, if you got again sales data warehouse, okay, so facts can be either dollars sold. Okay, so what is the total sales in terms of dollars? So how many items you have sold in terms of dollars? Okay, this fact, it is been represented by this dollars sold. And then units sold. Units sold andre how many number of units of items you have sold? That is one of the fact here. And then amount budgeted. Amount budgeted is nothing but what is your budget? Okay, that is also one kind of a fact here. So it is a numerical measure. Dollars sold andre iga how many dollars? For example, $1,000, $2,000. It is a numerical measure, a numerical number. So ಅದೇ ತರ units sold andre, so how many units have been sold? That is also a numerical measure. And then amount budgeted. Okay, see, all these facts, they will be present in a fact table. Okay, so name of these facts or the measures, see, they will be stored in a fact table. Okay, and then the keys will be linked to the dimension tables. You will be linking the keys just like in case of primary and foreign key in case of DBMS system. So in the same way, so suppose if you have got any of the facts which are present in other tables, you can link them with the help of a key here. Okay, so see here, facts are nothing but they are numerical measures. Okay, so one more thing I forgot to mention. See, these facts are considered as quantities here. Suppose if you want to analyze the relationship between the dimensions here, so we can take the help of facts also. Okay, so facts are the quantities by which we can analyze the relationship between the dimensions. Okay. So these are the two key elements which are related to our data cube. Okay, so normally a data cube, so it will be having two elements. That is, one is dimensions and second one is facts. Okay. So in details again, I will explain this in the next class. Okay, so with one example. Okay, so now if you got any doubts, you can ask me now.